Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how I made this mini mesh skirt. It was inspired by one of the photos that I saw on Pinterest. So the materials that you'll need for this project are two hooks, the 2.75mm crochet hook and a 3.5mm crochet hook for the body of the skirt. Then I also used a pair of scissors, and the other thing you'll need is a measuring tape because you're going to be taking some measurements. I'll be showing you the sizing chart that I used for this project on the screen, so you can take a screenshot so that you follow that. So I used a total of 6 colors, so go ahead and get your 6 colors. It can be scrap yarn or leftover yarn from different projects. So we're going to start off with the waistband. You're going to grab your 2.75mm crochet hook. It's the one that's going to be working on the waistband. So we're going to make a slip knot and make a chain of 15. This is going to be the thickness of your waistband. If you want it thicker, go ahead and make more chains. If you want it thinner, go ahead and reduce the chains. So you're going to go into the third chain from the hook. So 1, 2, and into the third you're going to place a half double crochet and continue to half double crochet into each and every chain across. So when you're done with your half double crochets into each and every chain across, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work, and you are going to go into the very first half double crochet with a half double crochet. The chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, it only counts as a turning chain. So half double crochet into each and every remaining stitch across. So the number of stitches that you have for the rows of the waistband should remain constant. We are not decreasing or increasing at all. Just continue doing this until your waistband can go around your waist comfortably. So I'm going to tell you a trick so that you don't make a very big waistband for your skirt. So just continue to do this until you have a long enough panel to go around to measure your waist measurement. And that waist measurement is the upper waist measurement. So that's the measurement that we are considering. Chain 1 turn, half double crochet into each and every stitch across. I'm going to go ahead and make some more rows, and then I show you how to wind up the waistband. Okay, so I continued working my rows of half double crochets. Remember, I had a total of 13 half double crochets across each row. So I continued doing that until I had the measurement that I wanted for my waist. So I'm considering waist measurement 29 inches. So you're going to continue working until you have 29 inches for the waist measurement without stretching it. This should be exactly 29 inches so that when you stretch it, it can go further, but it can shrink back to 29 inches. since we are going to have a drawstring in the waistband. So after getting the measurement that you want for your size, this is the upper waist measurement. So after this, I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to slip stitch on the opposite side. I'm going to go into each and every stitch on this side and a stitch on the other side as I slip stitch to finish up the waistband. So make sure you slip stitch into each and every stitch, matching it with the corresponding stitch on the other side. So we are almost coming to the end. So here we are with our waistband finished, and this is what it looks like. So the side where you've worked your slip stitches is the wrong side of your work. You're going to turn your work to the right side and you can see it's neater. So this waistband is going to be a little bit stretchy since we used half double crochets horizontally, but not so stretchy because we didn't go into the back loop only. I did that intentionally because I didn't want it to stretch so much. So this is our waistband. So we are going to go onto the body of the skirt. So for that, we are going to switch to our 3.5mm crochet hook. We are going to drop the 2.75 and pick up the 3.5mm so that we work on the body of the skirt. So the reason why we are changing the hook size is to create more coverage, so that this skirt can accommodate the hip measurement, since this is the upper waist measurement. So we need the skirt to start flaring outwards so that we can create more coverage for the hip area to fit in. So you're going to chain 6, which counts as a double crochet chain 3. Turn your work to the right side. This is the right side where the slip stitches are not showing. So when you turn your work to this side, after a chain of 6, you're going to skip the first row and go into the second row with 1 double crochet. Then chain 3, skip the next row and 1 double crochet into the next row. Chain 3, skip the next row and 1 double crochet into the next row. So we are going to keep repeating this all the way around, creating that mesh pattern until we come back to the beginning of our round. Make sure you always skip 1 row and double crochet into the next row. This is going to create some gap for our mesh so that the mesh is not so thin. So this is what your work will look like. So we are going to go all the way around until we get back to this point. I'll meet you guys back at this point. So after making it all the way around, you're going to have a row of mesh that goes around your skirt. So after this, you're going to chain 3. After your last double crochet here, you're going to chain 3 and go into the 3rd chain from the starting chain 6 and make a slip stitch. So this is how your work will look like. So at this point, I'm going to chain 1 and cut my yarn because I don't want to continue with yellow. I'll cut my yarn at this point. This is the exact middle back of my skirt. So I'm going to identify 2 points on the side. You can just eyeball and mark this space. Let me just mark it with different color of yarn. I'll mark this space, and then I'll also mark this. I'll count the same number of boxes, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 in the 13th. In the 13th, I'll mark that as well. But just go ahead and mark the sides of your skirt, because this is where we are going to do the increases in order to create the room for the hip measurement. So we are going to go on to our next color. For me, that will be green. I don't know what colors you've chosen for your skirt. You're going to attach it in any space. I'll just attach it here so that when I'm getting rid of the loose ends, I'll just tie the two strands together. So I'm just going to go into the space there, the chain 3 space, attach my yarn, and then I'm going to chain 6. And this chain 6 counts as a double crochet, chain 3. So go into the next chain 3 space with double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 3, double crochet into the next space, chain 3. So you're going to repeat this until you reach that space with a stitch marker. So for me, my stitch marker was yarn, so I'm going to just continue until I get to that chain 3 space that had the stitch marker. So my stitch marker is in this space. You can remove it now, and you're going to chain 3, and instead of going here with only one double crochet, you're going to double crochet, chain 3, and then one more double crochet into the same space. So we've created an increase at this point. Then chain 3, double crochet into the next space. So all the remaining spaces get only one double crochet after the chain 3 until we get to the next stitch marker. So we are almost reaching the second stitch marker. So here we are, and you're going to remove it. Then chain 3, and instead of going in here with only one double crochet, we're going to double crochet in there, chain 3, and one more double crochet. So we've created another increase on the opposite side. So these are the sides of the skirt where the hips are going to be. Then chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, and continue doing this until the end of your round. So we are almost coming to the end of our round. I've placed my last double crochet into that last space, and after this you're going to chain 3 and go into the third chain of the chain 6. Make sure I go into it and make a slip stitch to wind up your round. So this is round 2 of mesh, and we're going to continue increasing until we get to our hip measurement. So for me, the hip measurement that I'm going to consider is hip size 39 to 40. So let's see, for the next row, you're going to slip stitch once into the next space, slip stitch twice, and then you're going to chain 6. So the slip stitches bring you to the middle of the chain 3 space. So after your chain of 6, you're going to go into the next space with 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 3, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 3, 1 double crochet into the next. So we're going to repeat that until we get to the V stitch that we created at the point of increasing. So you'll be able to see it. You can see this is only 1 double crochet, but this is the increase that we created from the previous row. So you're going to chain 3 and create another increase there. So 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1 double crochet, like that. And then you're going to continue, chain 3, 1 double crochet into the next space, chain 3, 1 double crochet into the next space, and repeat that until you get to the next increase, and do the same thing. So you're going to go all the way around, and when you get to this point, which is the point of increasing, you're going to increase just like we did for this point. You're going to increase at this point and then wind up your row just like the previous row. You just place 1 double crochet into each and every chain 3 space until you get to this point, and then you're going to chain 3 and slip stitch in the third chain of the chain 6, and you're going to repeat that until we get the width of our hip measurement. We're just going to continue increasing at those 2 points until we get hip measurement. So let me go ahead and do that. I'll meet you back when I have my hip measurement. So I've done 3 rows of green and I want to switch colors. I'll just chain 1, cut my yarn, and then I'm going to introduce another color, which is this bright yellow. This is different from this mustard, and I'm going to attach it just like I did for the previous color when I was joining green. So I'm going to make a slip knot and attach it in the space next to this string, in the middle there, and I'm going to chain 6, and I'm still increasing because I haven't yet hit my hip measurement. I think I just need to do 1 more increase, so I'm going to just continue with the same exact row that I was doing before. Chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the next space, chain 3, double crochet, and I'm going to just continue that, and when I get to those points of increasing, I'm going to increase. So my plan is to have a pattern that has 3 rows, then 5 rows for the next color, 3 rows for the next color, 5 rows for the next color. So I'm going to just increase one more time, and then I'll get back and show you what to do next. So you can see I've increased at this point. This is the line where we are doing the increases, and you can see the V stitches. So let me finish up this round. I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so I ended up increasing for one more row, and that gave me my hip measurement. When I stretch it, it can now stretch to 40 inches when fully stretched. Okay, so leave some room so that it's not very tight to make these lines very straight. So after this, the next thing I'm going to do is to continue to build onto my skirt. 2 slip stitches, chain 6, then double crochet into the next chain 3 space. So for this row, the moment you hit your hip measurement, you're going to stop increasing. But I told you that I'll be using a sequence of 3 rows, 5 rows, 3 rows for the next color, 5 rows for the next. So I'm on my 3rd row of yellow, and this yellow has to have 5 rows. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to go all the way around with 1 double crochet into each space with a chain 3 after. So chain 3, 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1 double crochet into the next space, chain 3, 1 double crochet into the next space. We're going to repeat that all the way around, keeping in mind that we are no longer increasing, because if you continue increasing, your skirt is going to become too big. So this is the increase point. So we shall chain 3 and just go in there with 1 double crochet this time. We are no longer increasing. So chain 3, 1 double crochet into the next. So you can see the V stitches have stopped at this point. Alright, so continue to work your rounds normally without any increases until you get to the end of your round, and you're going to repeat this round until we get the length of the skirt that we want. Now mine is going to be a mini skirt, so I'm just going to repeat this row of no increases, and I'll be back to show you how my skirt turned out and how many rows that I did. So let me just go ahead and do this. I'll meet you back when I have the length that I want for my skirt. So I'm back and I've gotten the length that I want for my skirt. I did 3 rows of green, 5 rows of yellow, 3 rows of purple, 5 rows of sky blue, 3 rows of pink, and 5 rows of yellow. I just had to bring back the boundary color that started the project at the base. That's what I opted for. If you want any other color, go ahead and do that. So when you get the length that you want, this is how the skirt will look like. You are going to place it like this and make sure you get rid of all the loose ends. So just like I told you, I'll be just tying knots of any strands that are close to each other, and you can see that happening at different points, but they are not actually seen on the final project. They are kind of hidden. So I'm going to get my boundary color, which is this mustard yellow, and I'm going to use 2 strands this time with my 3.5mm crochet hook, and I'm going to chain. I'm going to make a drawstring that's going to go around the waist. So just make a simple chain of around, I don't know how long you want this to be, but I prefer these a bit long. They look really cute when they're long. So just make one that goes around your waist and beyond, because you need to leave room for the knot that we are going to tie at the front of our project. So after making my drawstring, I'm going to just pass it through the top of my waistband. You can tie it here if you want. You can pass it through this space, but I'm going to do that at the top of my waistband. So just leave one stitch up and start passing through the drawstring. Like that, and you're going to repeat this all the way around. So after making it all the way around, this is how your skirt will look like. At this point, this is the drawstring that's going to adjust the waist size to your exact waist measurement. Then you can tie a knot, and then when it comes to these strings, you can either add a tassel or just tie a knot or add a bead. Anything can do at this point. And that's it. This is the simple mini mesh skirt. Just go ahead and weave in all your ends, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.